Alright, this module looks at adding a bibliography, which can also be a very simple task, very automated task in Word 2007. The caveat here when you're inserting a bibliography is that you should try to, when possible, use a docx file. In other words, use the Word 2007 default file format when you're working with citation and bibliography. Again, if possible, it just automates things a little easier than when you're using compatibility mode. So that's what we're doing indeed here. And let's insert a citation. So we've done some research. This is a long research paper. It's a master's thesis or whatever, and we need to make sure and say, you know, this is where I got this research from. So let's cite this work. Let's add a new source, and you can come back later and say, well, you know, I'll do this later. You can add a placeholder for your bibliography entries, and let's say, here's where I got this from. I got it from Brian Culp, is the author of the book, and the title was VTC Word 2007, the year 2006, the city, the publisher, and so on. So it was even publisher VTC. So, good. Click on OK. You can also show even more bibliography fields if you want to, but you don't have to. Those are just the recommended fields in red there. So click on OK. Your source can also change book selection, journal articles, articles and periodicals, and of course the changes in these fields will change accordingly depending on what you have in the drop-down box. So fine. Click on OK. Culp 2006. Again, that is a field. You can choose the field and decide, let's edit the citation, edit the source, so the citation can be added. You can say, let's say pages 34 through 40 is where I got that from. Suppress the author, suppress the year if you want to. So again, there you go if you edit the citation. So I won't suppress that. I won't add the pages, and then click on OK. So there, you've edited the citation. Now it's time to go back and do the bibliography at the end of the day. So here we are, and we're just past our index here. Let's insert our bibliography. Well, do that with the same grouping here on your References tab, Bibliography, and you have several that are built in. Bibliography, Works Cited are the two templates here, and of course you can click on Insert Bibliography to do it that way, but I think the Works Cited one is probably a little more formal. So there you go. There is the citations of bibliography that can of course be updated as you're working on this document, because usually if you're working on something that needs citations of bibliography, you're going to work on it several days, weeks, months, years at a time, and these fields are going to change, and of course Word 2007 is able to keep track of all this stuff. You can add new sources, and again, just add a placeholder. We'll just say this needs to be cited, but we'll come back and cite it later on. Also notice that I have in my insert citation, these are reusable entries. So if I'm working on another paragraph and want to once again cite that with the same author, same information, bingo, Culp 2006. Manage sources lets me manage my sources in this document. I have a master list and I have a current list. That master list is now available in any document that I'm working with. So you can add a citation in one document and you should be able to use that in another document you're working with. And of course you can delete these or copy something from your master list to the current list as you need to. You can also edit it if you want to, so that it's B. David Culp. So we can make edits. You want to update the list and the changes? Of course I do. And of course you can delete both the current list and the master list of your sources. So close, and if I go back to the end of the document and update my citations, once again the fields update because the information that these fields are grabbing from also changes. So as you can see, it can be very painless to add indexes, add tables of contents, and also to add and update bibliographies in your long documents.